Well, Olga, thank you for joining us tonight, and thank you for agreeing to give a brief testimonial about your experience with Imagine Coaching Academy and the certified coach program that we have available. As we get started, tell us a little bit about what you do and the people you serve every day.
I'm basically an administrative assistant to the Broward Sheriff's Office, which is our local law enforcement here in Broward County, our local sheriff's office, should I say, in Broward County.
Mhm.
And I do all the administrative work for our Department of Professional Standards, which basically involves all administration of discipline for the entire agency.
Mhm.
And so basically, I do all the paperwork for all our review boards, all of our disciplinary boards, and basically anything that is that provides due process to an officer. Florida is the only state that I know of that has the Officer Bill of Rights, and so every officer has rights and they're given due process in the disciplinary system. And so that's what we administer. And so I work as the administrative assistant to the director.
It's a big responsibility.
It's a huge responsibility. We
Yeah,
have requirements that are based on Florida statute
sure.
and certain requirements, timelines that we have to meet by the state as well,
Mhm.
uh, because of the fact that, like I said, law enforcement deputies have rights or officers have rights. And so we administer that all the way across as far as civilians, fire department, Department of Detention. So so basically all my T's have to be crossed and all my I's should be
Yeah.
dotted.
Okay. So tell us a little bit when you, or before you started the program, maybe some of the challenges you were having in your leadership development or in your desire to grow more as a professional.
So I I enjoy a lot of what I do. I the one thing that I wanted to do was I like to expand my knowledge in anything pretty much. If
Mm.
I especially if I can use it
Mhm.
to benefit others, either professionally or personally, that's something that I'm always interested in doing. And so, um, with my professional life, I wanted to go back and finish my master's degree. And so, one of the things that was interesting to me was that if I choose to do the program, that they included those hours and whatnot into a master's program if I wanted to, continue.
Mhm.
It's almost like a life learned credit, and I've done a program like that before with Barry University, and so that
Yeah.
was interest to me. So I said, if anything, if I do pursue that, that might be an avenue that might benefit me in my professional life if I choose to do a master's program. Um, Another thing was that I am also interested in even not particularly at this in this position, but if and when I retire, I wanted to at least have something that I could use
Mhm.
to possibly have my own business with, to provide some income, additional income.
Sure.
And so I wanted to do um, something that was different from being an assistant and
Yeah.
working in administration, just something in a completely different field.
Mhm.
And so that interests me as well, because I said, if anything, I can continue to keep learning and keep certifying myself and possibly starting my own business and then expanding it to help
Yeah.
people that I know, as well as subcontracting myself to
Mhm.
the agency or other law enforcement agencies, or not necessarily have to be law enforcement, but because that's where I've worked most of my
Sure.
professional life.
Yeah. Experience.
Yes, I have the lingo and the knowledge and I know the atmosphere, so I can actually use what I have to help out in that atmosphere in that industry.
Okay. And that's a pretty unique perspective because when we talk about people in transition, I
Mhm.
mean, you were already thinking, what else could I do? And interestingly enough, you don't want to do the same thing. You wanted to do something totally different, which
Mhm.
I get that because you've been doing this for several years. You have a lot of experience, and I think you discovered along the way that you're a pretty good coach. So so that was good. Now in this frustration, if you will, of looking ahead, how how did it help you when you discovered, oh, this might be a solution to some of the things I've been thinking about already?
I'm sorry, repeat the question again. How?
Yeah, how did it help you when you discovered, well, the coaching program might actually be a solution to some of the things I want to do or could do in the future?
Well, solution, because it was, I mean, not that it was super easy, what I'm saying, but it was something easy to get involved with.
Right.
And that it at first it seemed like really difficult because I had to change my entire frame of thought. But the course in and of itself is easy to do. Once
Mhm.
you apply yourself, of course, and you read the material and
Yeah,
practice
sure.
and whatnot, it provided an avenue that was something that was attainable.
Yeah.
So in that respect, it was like it provided that, and I was like, okay, it's completely different. Yeah, and it's throwing me a little bit off my regular game, but it's doable.
Yeah.
It's doable.
As you went through the program, and one of the things I heard about many of the students is there was that moment where you realize, oh, this is going to work for me. And I know in the beginning there was a lot of information, several videos,
Mhm.
and almost like you're drinking out of a water hose. And when do you feel you got to that point where you said, okay, I get where we're going in this. I understand the process now. I just need to keep working the process to get better and improve my skills.
I think it was when we went into the actual. I think it was the first. I don't remember what exactly which not module it was, but when
Mhm.
we actually went into the example,
Okay.
and I think you had did that. You coached one of us.
Hmm.
Might even been me. I don't even remember. And and I said, okay, this is I've mentored before. I've given
Hmm.
advice before, whatnot. This, although it's different, is okay. I think I can get this. I think
Yeah.
this is something that I can do. So I think it was at that moment that I was like, okay, yeah, there's a lot of information at first, and I was I think we all were bombarded with it
Yeah.
at first. But when we did that, I was like, oh, okay. So this is what this is about. Okay,
Hmm.
so I said, so I just basically, I think that was the point where I said, okay, I need to switch gears. I need to be a listener,
Yeah.
a good listener.
Hmm.
And then how do I do that? You know, ask the right questions.
Yeah.
And instead of giving advice and whatnot and being and mentoring
Yeah.
or whatnot, I think it was at that point that I said, okay, this is what this is the meat and potatoes of it.
Yeah. That's right.
And then I was like, okay, I can do this. It's gonna take
Yeah.
me a little bit, but I can do this.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was really interesting for me to see the evolution of it. And then when people realize, okay, I am not a mentor, I'm not an instructor, I'm not
Mhm.
a facilitator, I'm a coach. And just we kept beating that drum over and over again. And then finally, when you and others, you would catch yourself and you would almost pause and say, okay, I'm going to ask a different question because I want to give them advice and just cut right to it.
Mhm.
I think that was one of the things that I think encouraged a lot of people because they realize, okay, I can do this. It's just going to take a reframing of how I approach people because I'm so used to being a mentor and an encourager, but I really need to be a good listener, like what you just said. And that's
Mhm.
different. So,
Mhm.
what do you think, having gone through the coach training experience and being certified as a coach, what do you think it's done for you professionally? We'll start there.
Well, the fact that I have to pause to listen to people, like I've heard that before in other trainings
Hmm.
of other things. And but I saw it more so and exercised through the class.
Yeah.
So when I saw that, I was like, okay, I've heard this before, but
Hmm.
this is like I in depth. I have to really get into listening,
Yeah.
not saying a word, just listening. And so I've found myself not talking or not saying anything, but just sitting back and listening
Hmm.
and being more attentive to watching how people react, um, how their body change move, how their body movements change
Hmm.
and whatnot, how they use inflection, things like I've
Yeah.
actually
Little details.
paused. Yes, I've actually
Yeah.
learned to just pause and listen. And even when it's something that I know about, or if we're in a meeting, an administrative meeting or command meeting or whatnot, I've learned to just sit back and watch people more
Yeah.
and be like, okay, don't, like you might not have the answer to this, but you don't necessarily have to say anything.
Yeah.
Just listen.
Right.
So
Just
it's
listen,
made
just
me a
watch.
more
Yeah.
attentive listener
Okay, good.
for sure.
Yeah, and it's funny when you said you start picking up on things and you're just watching people, you're giving them more time to talk, you're not interrupting them, and then
Hmm.
all of a sudden you start noticing these details, whether it's the inflection in their voice or they're slouching in their chair, a deep sigh, and then you realize, okay, there's more to this story than what's being said here.
Hmm.
Okay, what about personally? How do you think it's helped you personally?
Um, well, I currently mentor someone,
Hmm.
and so I'm learning to see how giving somebody space
Yeah,
enough so that way they can think of things on their own sometimes.
good. Yeah.
Even though, yeah, as mentors, we
Mm.
have to, we guide and help along, which we do also as coaches, but
Sure.
we do actually give advice or whatnot or bring perspective. But it helps me, not that it's weird. It helps me to be more, I think, more empathetic. Honestly, it helps me to because I'm giving them enough space, the pausing, which is
Hmm.
important, that's something that you talked about,
Sure.
and not having to um to infiltrate with so many words or so
Mhm.
many ideas or whatnot, but just giving the person enough space. And I think I know that that's something that I've wanted to develop even in my personal relationships with my family members
Mhm.
and my best friends and whatnot,
Sure.
is to provide that space for them to express themselves or give them time to think. And I think that's like really important because I think that shows that you care.
Yeah.
That
Without
you
saying that you care,
exactly,
you're listening.
exactly,
Yeah, that's right. That's good.
exactly. Yeah.
That's good. I really like that. What did you find? This is a different type of question. What did you find inspiring about the program as we went through the different phases from the 2 day certification, the video training, the group training, the peer-to-peer coaching? What part was inspiring for you personally?
Well, I think the fact that everyone that was involved, you know, we all came from different backgrounds, different
Mhm.
ages, and the fact that we all, even in the beginning and even towards the middle, like that we all had our struggles of getting it, of
Yeah.
getting, the rhythm down and dealing with our awkwardness.
Yeah.
What was inspiring was is like we all did. Like we all pushed forward. It wasn't like, okay, I messed up and that's okay. It
Right.
was like a couple of our classmates were like writing stuff down as they were making mistakes because they're
Yeah.
like, I want to get this. I want to get this. You know, because for me it
Yeah,
was like, oh, you know, I'm okay. If I messed up, I messed up. I'm, you know, fine. Tell me
sure.
what I messed up on. But it's to me, it was inspiring for me to see that other adults felt this, you know, were
Right.
just okay. I want to learn. Let me
Yeah.
write this down.
They were
Let
they
me,
were vulnerable enough to say, I messed up. Okay, let me
yeah,
make a note of this so I don't do it again. Let's keep going.
yeah. So it was like a feeling of okay, I'm in my I'm comfortable with my classmates
Right.
kind of thing, which it made it like that because people were vulnerable enough to say that, yeah, okay, I don't get it. I'm not, you know,
Mhm.
I'm not 100%, but I'm willing to learn. I'm
Yeah.
willing to get this, and to the
Mhm.
point of writing down notes and writing down questions and writing
Yeah.
down, what did you put? What did I put?
Mhm.
You know, and I have a couple of classmates like contacted me. Did you make notes or whatever? Can I get it? You know, I'm fine. I'll send you my notes, whatever. And so that inspired me because I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm not the only one struggling, one.
Right.
And two, I might get something that they didn't get, and vice versa. And we get to
Mhm.
share our learning experience together, which is good.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. And I think a key part of this was you are learning from others because you're seeing coaching styles and questions that they're asking, and you're, oh, I like that. I'm going to make a note of that. I'm going to use that question
And I
for one
did
of
that. I have my
my
notebooks. I have all my questions that, oh, I like this question. I
yeah,
wrote
I
it
like this
down.
question. I'm going to dig that.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, were there any hesitations before you started the program, but they were resolved as you started the program? Like if you had any doubts before you started, but then as you started in the program, you kind of worked through those?
Um, I think when we did our intensive, I
Hmm.
was a little bit like, oh my gosh, this is so much. This is like a lot. You know,
Yeah.
like and we had dinner in the morning, and I'm not a morning person, so I'll try to soak up as much as I
Yeah.
possibly could. But
Yeah.
it felt like, you know, felt like a huge wave, and I was like, man, I'm not gonna be able to, I'm not gonna be able to surf this sucker. You know,
Yeah.
I don't surf, but I was like, if I even wanted to, I couldn't. And as we started to do the practicals and uh, coach each other,
Hmm.
you know, and watch you do examples and whatnot, um, then it was like it didn't feel like that big a wave
Right.
anymore. It was okay. This is doable. It's gonna take some time. It's gonna take some practice, and but then and then towards the end, like when I started, because I had to catch up with the video with the modules and whatnot.
Yeah.
As I start, you know, I started watching them, and then I'm like, okay, you know, this is good information. Like I was writing notes and keeping tabs on things that I wanted to go back, and that's why I asked if we can go back because I was
Sure.
like, okay, I want to read this module again.
Hmm.
There's some good meat. There's some potato meat in this section
Yeah.
that I really want to get down and I want to remember. So it became a lot easier
Hmm.
once we did the practicals. So it kind of dissipated that huge wave
Yeah.
from that the
The
first
initial.
intensive, the initial intensive. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a reason why it's called an intensive because
It's intense.
it's a lot. Yeah, it's intense. Okay, that's good. It's encouraging. So um, which of the components, you have the 2 day intensive, we had the self-study videos, we had the coach training labs and the peer-to-peer coaching. Which one, for you personally, was the most valuable in this process for you?
I think these are the modules, right?
Right.
The
Hmm.
actual videos that we watch when you
Yeah.
talk, telling us the actual things. Um, I am I think I'm more of a visible learner. So
Yeah.
while you know you're talking and I'm reading, going through the actual modules and the actual
Hmm.
handouts and whatnot, I have to look at all that in order for me to get it. You know,
Okay.
I can hear, yeah, and I might
You
remember
got to see it.
one or two things that, yeah, but I got to see the notes.
Yeah.
Sometimes, and like there was one chapter I was actually like adding stuff that you were saying into the notes, and for me to get it, I started doing that first because I wanted to get all the details. And then
Sure.
as I went along, I just started to look through, and then it got easier to just listen.
Hmm.
Um, so for me, I've always been like that when it came to even being a student in college or whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm more visible. I'm not audible.
Right.
So like if I would have had to listen to the lessons, I probably would not have gotten
Okay.
a
But
lot
the
of it.
fact that you could see them was a help.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have to see the
Interesting.
handouts, see the
Yeah.
videos. That's why I say when we actually coached each other and we with the other students got to watch
Yeah.
that, yeah, that was more for, okay, I see what he's doing, I see what he's
Hmm.
asking. Okay, I write this down. This is good.
Yeah.
I noticed this. So and every time somebody coached that we had to watch, I always took notes. Even though I
Yeah.
wasn't coaching, I was
Sure.
actually writing down as if I was the coach
Hmm.
to see if I caught on
Yeah.
to what was going on.
That's good.
So yeah, so that for me is the what helped me get everything.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's real time learning because you're listening, you're watching, you're taking notes, and the studies show the more you interact as a student, the better the retention.
Mhm.
And obviously that showed up in the way that you coached and as you progressed through the program.
Mhm.
What would you say, Olga, was surprising to you? Was there anything that kind of caught you off guard in the program, but in a positive way? We know the intensive was intense, but was there anything that you said, "Oh, wow, I was a little surprised by this. I didn't expect this in the program, but it was good."
I think what was surprising for me was in knowing um I'm trying to figure out the words, in being able when we finally got that,
Hmm.
we're asking questions, that they're the ones that are actually doing the actual solving. That the client
Yeah.
is actually the one that's actually doing the solving, and that we're asking the actual questions. The point where I knew where I was actually able to flip that
Hmm.
mindset from giving advice to listening
Yeah.
and asking questions. I think that for me was surprising for myself, just personally, because I was like, oh, I can actually do it.
Yeah. The guy could do it. Yeah.
I can actually turn that, advice person, you know, off,
Yeah.
turn the advice off, and then turn
Funny.
on like I don't have to have the answers.
Yeah.
And it's something that you said, that we don't even have to actually know the industry of the person that we're talking to.
Correct.
We don't have to be experts in finance or experts in law enforcement or
Mhm.
experts in it. We don't have to have any of that.
Yeah.
We just have to be able to help the client reach the goal in the session. That is the key point. It has nothing to do with the industry in and of itself.
Yeah.
So I was like, you're right. I don't have to know
Right.
anything about that. I just
Yeah.
have to let the client, and once I get the goal, I just have to ask the right questions.
Yeah.
So I just have to listen. So I don't have to have the answer.
Hmm.
I was like, okay, it's
Yeah.
okay. This is
It takes
this
the
is what
pressure off.
it does. It
Yes.
does. It
Yeah.
takes the pressure off of the
Yeah.
coach. It
That's right.
really does. Because all you got to do is ask the right question. And if not, keep asking until you get the aha moment. Because I know we don't get it all the time, but
Hmm.
I like when it happens. I
Sure.
think that's my favorite part of it. I love when we get an aha, when we
Yeah.
ask that one question that the client's like, I never even thought about that.
Right. That's right.
I
And
call it
then
that's the
everything
aha
shifts.
moment.
That's right. Everything
Yes,
shifts.
that's my favorite part. When I ask that one question comes and then they're like,
Yeah.
I never thought about
Yeah.
that way.
That's good.
I was like,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. And that's when you know things have pivoted in the right direction. So
Hmm.
now earlier you mentioned that you still do some mentoring, and that's a really good thing. Just relating it back a little bit to the coaching program, how do you
Hmm.
think, even in this mentoring or other
Hmm.
examples, how do you think the coaching program has allowed you to empower others more confidently than maybe you did before?
Right. How I empower other coaches or just other people in general.
Yeah, yeah. Other people in general. How do you think the program has equipped you to empower others better?
Um, well, I think when I had to do my actual, like when I had to do the actual recording.
Yeah.
I think that's the actual part where I actually realized that by asking questions, by
Hmm.
probing whoever it is that I'm coaching, I'm actually already empowering them
Right.
because I'm helping them get the answer that they need. And when they come to it, it's almost like I'm giving them the power for them to answer their own problem,
Right.
which is somewhat of is what coaching, because
Yeah.
coaches is what we do.
Yeah.
Um, but I noticed that every time that I would ask the question that brought an answer or brought clarity to whatever the
Yeah.
situation was,
Sure.
I felt like that to my I felt like that was like I was empowering that person
Okay.
and whatnot. So I guess that's the best way I would, because as far as others, I mean, I haven't coached anyone else, so
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
wouldn't know. So I
Yeah.
think I've noticed that in asking questions when people come to realizations or answers,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm empowered. Well, I just gave them what they needed to solve their own
Yeah.
situation.
And you brought up two really good points there. Number one is clarity. So
Hmm.
you helped them to gain clarity on
Hmm.
what they needed to do. And
Hmm.
number two, they came to the conclusion on what they need to do. So
Exactly.
so you're not telling them as you might have done before, as I would have done
Hmm.
before for sure, but you're making it, you're helping them and walking with them. So now it's clear, and now they have clarity. Oh, now I know what to do. So
Right.
you're just facilitating the clarification process with them.
Right.
And you're right. And when you do that, you're actually empowering them to do more.
Right.
And that's the key. So
Right.
as you think of empowering others, how do you think, just to reverse it a little bit, how do you think becoming a certified coach has empowered you more?
Well, because I don't feel like I don't have to have the answers. I don't have to know everything. I just have to be a good listener. I have to ask probing questions, ask good questions,
Yeah,
um, because we have an end goal.
right.
And that end goal doesn't mean that I have to be an expert in a field, and doesn't mean that I have to
Yeah,
um even know what I'm doing. Basically, I just have to be able to listen to the person
yeah,
and get them to where they need to go. If I don't do it at the first session, I'll do it at the second session or the third session. But um it takes the pressure, like we said, it takes the pressure off the
yeah,
coach, takes the pressure off me of having to know having all the answers. I don't need to have the
yeah,
answers. I just need to be able to listen to what my client, what the person that I'm
yeah,
coaching needs,
yeah,
and try to get there, or try to get there or get as close as I can to there.
yeah,
So it takes, I don't like to say fear, but it takes the fear out of, I can coach anybody.
yeah.
I don't have to just pick this person looks like they're smarter than me. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
That's right.
It's like I can coach anybody.
Yeah. Yeah. And that, I think that was an aha moment for every single coach, because it is intimidating. If you're coaching somebody who's an AI expert, I don't know anything about AI, and it's
Hmm.
okay. You don't have to know anything about it. You don't have to be a rocket scientist. You don't have to be a brain surgeon. I mean, you just need to know what's the goal and what questions do I need to ask them to help the client get there.
Right,
And the rest, they'll figure it out because they'll gain clarity along the way as long as we're doing the things that you say. We're listening closely and we're paying attention.
right.
So you mentioned earlier with your future and your career, one of the things that you had thought of was, well, maybe opening up your own business or doing consulting or coaching in the future for the things that you've been doing all this time.
Mhm.
What else would you say is possible now that you've become a certified coach?
Um, well, I can help out in my church.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah,
that's but like the obvious answer is um to be used in a ministry to help
yeah.
people within our church community, our church body. I
Hmm.
think that's a plus right there in and of itself because I don't think that we could ever be at a point where we have too many people listening.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of hurt out there. There's a lot of questions out there. The world is nothing like what it was when we were younger, and it's not going to be anything like in the next generation and so forth. It's just the way life is, and I think that there's no such thing as being too short of people who are willing to listen,
Yeah.
and so we become better listeners, and then we in turn help people within the body get to goals that they want to reach, whether it be within the ministry or personal or professional,
That's right.
because it makes them then we're just adding to their life experience and helping them get better.
Yeah.
You know, and if they become better personally, then they become better professionally, or if they become better professionally, they can become better spiritually.
Right.
It's just a ripple effect. We put
Yeah.
it in, we start in the ministry
Yeah.
and help them to build themselves up spiritually, and that's basically it's what we do. It's biblical. We're supposed to sharpen each other.
And what I love about what you said earlier is, and if you think of those three areas, professionally, personally, and spiritually, it doesn't matter which one they approach you about. You can coach them, you can
Exactly.
empower them, you can help them gain clarity.
Mhm.
And I agree, when you help them in one area, it'll help them in the other area. And then it'll give them more confidence and more competence to actually do the things that they've been wanting to do. So
Mhm.
as I look at that, I go, yeah, I think that's a win. It's a win for their business life or their career life. It's a win for their
Mhm.
personal life, whether it's a relationship challenge
Mhm.
with a neighbor or a friend or a family member, and then
Mhm.
obviously in church and what they feel that God's calling them to do for the ministry and for God's work. So I think that's really, really neat. So
Mhm.
with these things in mind, being able to give people more clarity,
Mhm.
giving people that opportunity or that window or that space to really see what they need to do and go after it. How does that make you feel when you have those moments where you see, wow, okay, I I see myself doing this and I see the progress that others are making. How does that make you feel to see that progress?
I think I don't think it's a secret. Of course, it helps to help me you feel better about yourself
Yeah.
because you're helping someone else. Um, and just because I know from life experiences, even if we're engulfed in something that's negative, or if
Hmm.
we're going through something, and sometimes it never fails. If we take the focus off of the problem and we put our focus on helping other people,
Yeah.
you know, that that in and of itself is healing for us.
Mhm.
So I think it brings, yeah, it makes me feel good about myself, but it also um helps me to know that even in a difficult time or a weak moment, my weakest moment or whatnot, with whatever thing I'm going through,
Yeah.
that I don't have to concentrate on that. I can concentrate on helping other people.
Yeah.
And that is self-healing in
Yeah.
and of, when you do
Yeah.
that. it helps you to heal, it helps you to see things in a different perspective. It grows you. And I for sure have seen that when and as a matter of fact, it just happened today. Had somebody wanted to talk to me, and I was like, "Why me?" And I was like, I have a really good relationship with this person,
Yeah,
whatever and stuff. They just wanted to talk to me about
sure.
something, and I'm like, look, I prayed. I was like, Lord, I don't. Well, I'm trying to figure out why they picked me. But you know what? And then I was like, it was such a wonderful time,
Sure.
got to spend time together, talk and whatnot, and I was able to mentor that to them and help
Mhm.
them out and whatnot. But um, it helped, it made me feel like I have a purpose,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's um, and I learned now that being with having social interactions with people don't
Mhm.
have to be somebody the same age as you, just having
Yeah,
actual interaction with people.
yeah.
It's a it it's built in our DNA. We know that,
Mhm.
and I think that now in my older age, I find that to be vital for me.
Yeah, yeah. And it's a gift because, I mean, you think, wow, this person is sharing with me something
Hmm.
that is personal, something that is really affecting them, where
Hmm.
they have to get this off their chest, they have to share, they want to reach their goal or they want to resolve this issue, and we get to walk with them through the process.
Hmm.
And then as they discover things and they see things and they gain greater clarity, you're right. You walk away with that and you say, okay, that was good. That was a good investment of time. And I helped them out. And in the process, I'm pumped up. I mean, I'm encouraged and
Yeah,
it's a good feeling because you know, wow, I really helped them in something that at that moment was really important for them to solve and work through.
right.
And that's what coaching does. And you're right, it can be used in your job, your family, with friends. It
Hmm.
can be used in ministry. And I kind of have a joke with people now when they come to me. I say, okay, do you want Marcel the pastor? Do you want Marcel the coach? Do you want Marcel the advisor? Which Marcel do you want? and and
The
we
jack of
have
all
to.
trades.
That's right. Which one do you want? And I think everyone that's graduated from the program, they realize, okay, if you're coming to me for advice, then let me put my advice cap on, or let me put my
Exactly.
mentor hat on. But if you want coaching, that's a different hat. So,
Yeah.
well, the last part of this is just a simple challenge to people that might be on the fence. If somebody came up to you tomorrow and said, hey, Olga, I've been thinking about this certified coach program, what you took, and I like the results that I see, but I'm still on the fence. I mean, I'm
Mhm.
so busy with work and I'm so busy with life. I don't know if I'll have time to do it. What would you say to that person who's still on the fence?
It's doable. It's not hard. It's like anything that you want to accomplish, you have to dedicate time.
Sure.
You have to dedicate time to do the work.
Mhm.
And but it's doable, and um yeah, you get a certification and something that you can put on your resume or put in your,
Mhm.
in your hat of things that you are experienced in doing. Um, but the fact that I can guarantee you at the end of it, you're gonna you're gonna be amazed at how well of a listener you become. And that's good in every realm of your life.
Yeah.
Every realm. And so if for nothing else, if you think you're a good listener, you're gonna be an even better listener. But if you don't think that you're a good listener or that you're an okay listener, when you're done, you're gonna really see how important it is to listen to people
Mhm.
and how vital of a word I want to use, of an
Yes.
attribute to have,
Yeah. Yeah.
in your life,
Mhm.
in every aspect of your life. I think that is very important. very, very important, and something that's nobody can take from you,
Yeah.
like education.
Hmm.
Nobody can take it from you.
That's right. Once you have it, it's yours.
Yeah, once you have it, it's yours.
That's
So
right.
it's doable, and the end reward is something that nobody can take from you.
That's good. Well, thank you, Olga. I appreciate your time and I appreciate you in the program. I think we all had a lot of laughter together, a lot of aha moments. But
Yeah.
in the end, it's true. I think we all realized if there was one skill that was exponentially sharpened, it was our listening skills
Hmm.
and being able to just give people the space to think and talk and process. And because of that, sure, we communicated more empathy. Like you said earlier,
Hmm.
we we just noticed things that we didn't notice before. And when it
Hmm.
was all said and done, whether it's personally, spiritually, or professionally, it's going to help us. It's going to help us. So thank you for your time. And and I look forward to hearing more of what's ahead, even post retirement and what you can do with this. So thank you so
We shall
much.
see. We shall see.
All right.